Yeah, welcome here to B Sports Report. I'm going to break down what we on week 11 of college football. Uh, we're going to the first part of this video is going to be uh, Louisville and a couple of the big matchups out of the top 25. So with that, we're going to go in the second part. It's going to be the SEC. Everybody but Kentucky and Vandy, because I did that video yesterday. So let's get started. The first one I'm going to start with is Louisville at Virginia at Louisville, and Louisville's actually a 6.5 point favorite here. I don't know what to expect here. I mean, we got Louisville coming off a bye week. Virginia is 6-3. Louisville being 5-4, and but Virginia's lost some unexcusable games, I guess you'd say, against for being a 6-2 team, a 6-3 team. So I'm gonna say Lamar Jackson has a field day. Maybe Louisville's defense, we're about to find out, if they stepped up this week or not. They got anything fixed on that end of that side. So right now it's just Lamar and a bunch of dudes. That's honestly, I ain't trying to make fun of them for that or nothing, but I mean, you got Lamar Jackson. Getting ready to have he runs for 192 yards. He'll have the most rushing yards by a college quarterback ever. I don't even think it's just quarterback. I think he breaks some of the NCAA records rushing. But so we'll take Louisville. We'll cover the 11.5 spread. 11 point. We'll say they'll cover the 11.5. Even though it wouldn't be surprised me if they don't cover this 11.5. But I'm going to say what, 28-14. Louisville gets the job done, coming off a bye week. That brings me down to Washington and Stanford, which is a Friday night matchup. Washington's actually a 6-point favorite in this game. I don't know. I have a gut feeling about Washington this. I ain't watched a whole lot because the Pac-12 is hard. It's very hard to watch. But I'm going to go ahead and take. I'm going to take Stanford in this game. Washington's a 6-point favorite. I'm going to say 35-24. That's high. I can't go that. 35-28. We'll say a 7-point game. Stanford wins by a touchdown. Let's see. Brings us to Oklahoma State at Iowa State. Iowa State's coming off a loss at West Virginia. For the most part, that game wasn't even close most of the game. Iowa State came back, and well, I mean, you gotta give credit where credit's due. Iowa State gave up 20 points, and then I want to say the second quarter on, West Virginia didn't even score. So Iowa State stepped up, but they fell short in the comeback effort, lost 20-16. They got Oklahoma State this week. Iowa State is at home. So, I'm going to say Iowa State pulls it off here. Oklahoma State's actually the favorite by 6.5 points. I'm going to give it to Iowa State. Iowa State wins this game probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 38-31. It could even be 38-35, but I think Iowa State gets this job done. It could even be more. I think Iowa State wins this game. Brings me to the marquee matchup of the week. At least by ESPN standards and everything else, this is the matchup of the week. Notre Dame at Miami. Notre Dame is a 3-point favorite in this game. But I don't know. I have a feeling this game won't even be close, and therefore, Notre Dame is really good. I mean, their only loss is a 1-point loss at home to Georgia. They gave up a lot of points last weekend to Wake Forest, but gave up 37 points at least. I want to say that final score was only like 45-37 or something like that. It may be, it may be 54-37 or something. But I was shocked to see Notre Dame give up 37 points to Wake Forest. But in all seriousness, Wake Forest has been playing some pretty good football. But I'm going to say Notre Dame wins this game down at Miami. Gives Miami the first loss, knocks them out of playoff contention. Notre Dame wins this game 38-14. 38-14, Notre Dame wins this game. Which will bring me down to the Michigan State-Ohio State game. Both of these are ranked. Ohio State's coming off a loss. Michigan State's coming off a big win over Penn State. Last second game winning field goal. This game is at Ohio State. And Ohio State's a 15.5-point favorite, I think it is. Yeah, 15.5-point favorite. But I'm going to go with Ohio State. But I'm not going with them. They're not going to cover that 15.5 points. The Big Ten is kind of proven to be kind of like the Pac-12 out there. A bunch of teams beating up on each other. Look somewhat good. But I'm just going to say Ohio State wins this game 41-38. 41-31. Ohio State's going to win this game 41-31. Which would bring me down to the next game, which is NC State at Boston College. I only put this down because NC State's ranked. And Boston College is actually hasn't looked terrible. But this is a upset alert. I'm actually really high on NC State, too. I picked them to beat Notre Dame last weekend. I said upset alert. I meant upset watch. I don't think NC State loses this game. And NC State's only a 3-point favorite. ACC is kind of just like I just said about the Big 12 or the Big 10 and the Pac-12 and even the Big 12. They just kind of always beat up on each other. Some of this stuff is going, you blew out this team, now your turn to blow out me, type stuff. But I ain't really impressed with ACC. Clemson, they look good one week and they look terrible the next. I ain't impressed with anybody besides outside the SEC anymore. I thought Penn State looked real impressive. Wisconsin does look good. They're playing Iowa this week, and they're favorite at home. Yeah, back to the ACC here. NC State wins this game against Boston College, 31-24. I'm going to go ahead and say it stays close. But it's very easily could flip around and Boston College could beat NC State. But on the Wisconsin-Iowa game, I didn't even write it down. But I was coming off a blowout win over Ohio State. And they did at their house up in Iowa City, Iowa. Kinnick Stadium. They got to go to Wisconsin this weekend I didn't write it down, so I don't know the spread. Wisconsin, obviously, I'm pretty sure they're kind of a heavy favorite too. But if you know anything about Iowa, Wisconsin, Iowa, Ohio State, Iowa, Michigan, Iowa, Penn State, these teams have always historically played a close game. Just kind of like LSU, Alabama. I've ran my mouth a couple comment sections around here about how Alabama barely beat LSU, and LSU lost to this team, lost to that team. I'm being a troll. I am trolling at you guys. But I'm gonna. This is also upset watch. Wisconsin at Iowa. I mean Iowa at Wisconsin, and these teams here historically play close. Iowa's taking good teams taking good teams, great teams, to Wisconsin and lost. They've taken, Wisconsin's brought good teams to Iowa, and the Iowa's won. It kind of goes back and forth, just like everything else. You got to know a little bit about the Big Ten football. The only reason I've said this before, the only reason I know a little bit about Big Ten football and I watch Big Ten football is, number one, my dad is from Iowa. He's a Hawkeye fan. So growing up in Kentucky, I was raised being a Kentucky and Louisville fan. I was followed my mom's footsteps, who's from Louisville, Kentucky. Her mom was a UK fan. Her dad was a U of L fan. My mom's both. But she's a bigger U of L than UK fan. She won't admit it, but she is. And so I come out. My dad's from Iowa, like I just said. I was raised to be a UK U of L fan. Follow both teams. My dad's Iowa. I followed Iowa with him, and I've just always stayed. But the bad thing is, I follow Iowa State too, and them two are actually rivals. They're just not as bad as the Kentucky, Louisville, NC State, Duke. I'm not NC State, North USC and Duke, or Auburn, Alabama. It's another big one. I'm forgetting one. Alabama or Michigan, Ohio State is another one. Big rivalry games. So when I got probably around the middle school age, I actually chose to be a UK fan. And even after high school, I mean, I still watched a little bit of Louisville football. I didn't hate them a whole lot going through high school. But I chose to be a UK fan. I chose my side. But I still pulled for the other side. It wasn't until after high school and a couple years after that I became a diehard UK fan. I didn't care. UK football, UK basketball. So, I mean, I've been out of high school for a couple years. And, not so much a couple years, but like 11 years. 12 years. Actually, it's longer. It's over 12 years now. But I've been to Louisville football games in high school. Louisville everything. But I'm diehard Kentucky now. But anyways, that's why I know Big Ten football. I just rambled on and I shouldn't have. But so that's how come I know Big Ten football. I grew up watching Big Ten football with my dad. And following the Hawkeyes. But anyways, that brings me down to my last non-SEC school game, which is Florida State at Clemson. Clemson is what, a 17-point favorite, right? But Florida State actually just rescheduled their game against Louisiana Monroe, mainly because they're sitting at, what is it, 3-6 or something, whatever it is, 3-5. So with that gives them an opportunity to get bowl eligible. I mean, they still got to win one other game against Clemson, Florida. Clemson or Florida, they got to win one of those games. They got I don't remember the other school, but they got a little cupcake game in between Clemson and Florida win. So Of course, they play a cupcake team next week. So then they play Florida. But so I don't. Jimbo Fisher, it kind of came out past week or so, over the last week, that Jimbo Fisher is looking like he's going to Texas A&M. But so best of luck to him and stuff. But I'm going to part this into 2 videos. So thank you for tuning into this non-SEC video. I was going to throw that SEC at the end of it. It's gotten too long. But like, subscribe to my videos. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Peace.